Sales training today is going to be a little more old school. It isn't going to have the written form. I didn't have time to do it. As the faded Tam will state, I was on vacation and I was too busy drinking Corona Lights with 2 limes to write it down. So I'm going to kind of ramble for a couple minutes, and some of y'all may not even want to bother watching this with that little hint in there for you. But I had somebody come to me and say, basic sales, getting going, nervous, how to flow through. And I'm going to go over this again, and I'm going to go over it from a generic standpoint, and I'm going to go over it from a you build it standpoint. I'm going to go over it from a teaching standpoint. From a teaching standpoint, I'm going to say this is covered. You have everything you need. The Knowledge Center with the basic required classes, it's in there. What you have to know is in there. The different flip charts are in there. Adaptations you may want to make it your own are in there. The poster boards can be printed and put in your office, spread out, listed in, set however you want to do it, are available. Changing city, state name, adapting things, maybe try to look at your own area, it is available. All those tools are there. The sales training courses such as this one are there. Could I stand to go through and maybe highlight the best ones or the ones that are the most important to new guys? Yeah, I probably could. Marianne, if you watch this and you have time to review your notes and do that, bless you. That would probably be pretty helpful. Put little categories and, more abstract, more advanced, more worthless, the best ones, the ones for new guys coming in. I think folks would find that advantageous as a bibliography. So hopefully we'll do that. But trust me, guys, there's stuff I was better at teaching 5 years ago than I am today because I'm a little bit out of the game, if we're being perfectly frank. That's why sales this year at convention is going to be taught by Cam instead of by me. So I do want to mention you have those to go with. Now, things I want to cover that are in all those. Practice. Practice, practice, practice. Take advantage of the tools around you. Drag in a senior rep. Drag in another salesperson. Heck, if I'm in the area, drag in me. If you are straight sales and you are not the main construction guy, have a construction guy available. Drag them in. Lay claim to the credibility, answer the questions, dominate the conversation, own it. Be the professional. You know who the greatest professional is? It's the one that knows where the answers are. I honestly trust a man more that spins around his desk, looks at his library, knows which one to grab, pulls it down, and shows the answer than I do that just spits the answer off the top of his head. Because a guy off the top of his head may just be talking trash, something I've been guilty of more than once in my life. So the fact that you call in a professional, that you call in an expert to help support is a sign that you know what to do when it matters and where to get the info and who to reach out to. That is so much more important than faking it. And honestly, it's even more important than knowing the answer yourself immediately off the top of your head. This is what people are looking for. Most of the time they get that you're the salesperson, not the main guy. Now, those of you that are the main guy, that you're a one-man shop, that you're the construction guy and the sales guy, your hardest thing, you should own the credibility. Own it. Own it. Your biggest struggle should be and needs to be not overselling yourself. Beware of overselling yourself to the point that you sell it as if you got this and it is Jimmy Crack Corn build it instead of you build it. Make sure that you sell the heck out of your knowledge, expertise, and backup and support to the client without selling that you got this, which is not what you're doing. The client's got this. That's why it is a you build it. And the you stands for the client, not for y'all, the franchisee. That can be a hard thing to balance, but it's a nice thing to have to struggle with. It's nice to be the guy. It's nice to be the one that knows. When you give them a number, they know it's real. When you say something, they know it's real. Biggest struggle you might have because you start bonding is remembering to close. And here's where I'm going to end this lesson. For abstract, as well as you build it for anything else, the thing we forget is you got to set up the close. There's three important things to the close. Three important things to close. Very simple. I'm going to write it down because I hope it helps point it in. Number one, ask. You got to ask them to buy. You want to know the main secret to closing? Did you ask them to buy? Number two, did you set it up? Did you set up the close? Did you prep? Were you ready for it? Did you know where you were going? And number three, you know what? This is so abstract. I want to be silly with it. And yes, feel free to call and tell me I misspelled that word because I think I did. Did you fertilize it? Always know in your sales process what you're selling. What are you closing? I don't even mean that, hey, I know I'm selling this pen. You're not selling the pen, dude. You're never selling the pen. You're selling the close of the pen. Always stress you have a series of sales. When you're advertising, you are not selling the house. What you are selling is the lead. You are going for the close. What are you closing with an ad? What I'm closing with the ad is ask me for more information. Period. That's what an ad is. You're not selling the car. You're selling come to the lot. You're not selling the house. You're not selling you build it. You're selling ask for more information. Give me your info. Know what you're selling. When you get that info, what are you selling? You are not selling them a house. You know what you're selling? Come in and meet me. Everything from the moment they become a lead till they walk in the door for a presentation. 100% you are selling a close, and that close you are selling is come meet me. You know what you are selling from the moment they come meet you? Believe it or not, you're not selling the you build it. You're not selling the pen. You're selling the close. And the close is sign a contract. And you can't do that without knowing them and understanding them. And you can't do that without remembering it. We get so lost in answering their questions. We get so lost in what they want to build. We get so lost in proving ourselves. We get so lost in talking about, yes, we can handle all that. And I know, I just went through that in this earlier, bring in the experts and have, because you have to. But every time you do, remember where you're going. Remember, it's football season. It's not just a matter of getting through the line of scrimmage and hitting the hole. You got to remember you want to go all the way to the end zone. You got to keep looking. You got to keep pushing. You got to go, where do we want to end? You got to set it up. You've got to be remembering. I'm not bringing this person in just because you asked a question. Here's your answer. Go team. I'm bringing them in because I'm setting up my close. I'm setting up the expectation that I'm going to prove this because I'm going to use this to get you to sign. And I'm going to continue to fertilize it. What does that mean? You're not going to sign them when they're there. So what is your close? Always, always, always go back to number one. But if you set it up correctly, if you planted the seeds, at the meeting, then when you are calling and you ask and they don't agree, they don't buy, keep reaffirming what you planted. Know your stages, know your steps, know where you planted, know how you planted. And one of the best ways to do that is, number one, do it the same way every time. Number two, that's absolutely impossible because every client is different. So keep big, beautiful, gorgeous Notes. Use your database, because trust me, if you are seeing more than one person a week, you cannot hold this in your head. And even one a week after about 3 years starts to become impossible to hold in your head. You have to have notes. Otherwise, you're just throwing around trash and making stuff up. That is, well, I heard there was a garden out here, and I know I pushed some seeds in the dirt, and I guess I'll throw some fertilizer and hope it went okay. Golly, I wonder why I didn't sell as many. Notes, baby, notes, baby, notes, baby, notes. Notes are the fertilizer. Notes how you remember. Notes are how you keep reaffirming. And never stop asking. In a perfect world, somebody should come in for a presentation and sign a contract within a week. And let me tell you something, minimum of 15% of them, that really should be true. Quite possibly as much as 25% of them. The others, man, if 15% was on the front and another 20% is to come, half of them, we'll say 10%, we'll sign within a month or so. And the others could take forever. I mean, could take 6 months, could take 2 years. Some plants take longer to go. You got to keep doing. I planted an apple tree. It gave me these little bitty apples the first year, freaked me out. Will it be full? No, not for a while. But I planted a pear tree. That thing ain't going to give me fruit for another 2 years. Even little bitty ones. It's okay. Some take longer. Always keep going. Always keep keeping notes. All right, that's enough. I've rambled too long. I hope this was at least semi-helpful. Thank you all so very much for watching.